Hyperbinary started like I think 4 years ago.
Yeah, something.
4 years ago. It started on the background of the previous project we started like I think 11 years ago or something like that. I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
And at that time, 11 years ago, we started with the projection mapping. At that time, there was no projection mapping in the way that it is now.
We are a pretty young crew from based in Prague, and we started with 3 people, and everyone is from a different field and with a different interest. I'm studying graphic design, so I'm more visually based. My friend Oliver, he is a producer. He studied in London music, and he's also DJing. So he came into the XYZ as a music part. And the third guy who started with us is Dominic, and he is more into the IT programming and technologies.
We both come from an art background. We studied art, architecture and design academy here in Prague. I was a painter, and he was animator or illustrator and then animator.
First illustrator.
And at that time I was like doing some pieces like canvases and trying to get some kind of movement on those canvases, and then he came and showed me the first tests, some kind of tests for projection mapping at that time, which were like very basic for these days, but at that time it was like huge stuff.
We started basically with different projects with different people, different like the style of the music totally. We do some parties together. I did the posters for them, and somehow we recreated what we are interested in, something what it's connecting all of us, which is the fascination with the light and the music and the performances. And we start working together as the XYZ project.
Then we decided after a few years that we need to switch and do another path and try to focus more on the area which was not explored by us in a way that like we wanted to play more with the light. And then hyperbinary became like active, and we started to play with the light, not just only like projection mapping, but in a way that we try to work with the LEDs and moving headlights and these kind of stuff, put some kind of interactivity in it, and from there we went to these tubes, and now we try to explore the movement of the light through all different kind of surfaces.
Last year I enrolled in a studio, Marianne Karel, in my faculty, university, and the topic was light. And they actually told us there was an opportunity to enroll in the open call of Signal. So it was an open call we enrolled in, and they chose us. So that was the lucky part of the process.
We are like from the same background. We studied the same school, which is in Liberec, which is like 100 kilometers from here. And that school is really like a progressive, and it's really focused on digital art. And the scene is so small that we know each other really well. Like we know who is here, like out now, who is trending right now, and the scene is really small, and we hope like we'll get bigger.
Like the scene in Czech Republic is quite small, and the chance to be as a part of the Signal Festival was like the biggest chance we ever got, I think. So audiovisual for us, it's something, I don't know, I don't feel like we are only audiovisual artists. It's this field of audiovisual art, it's quite big, and sometimes it's quite boring. I think we want to combine all the media we can combine, and the people are calling this audiovisual because it's a visual with the sound. But honestly, for me, it's interesting to think about the visuals only and to do some installation based on the visuals without any sound.
We have like the situation is a little different because we are as a studio. We do also commercial projects, and that's how we can actually like produce certain amount of art in like traditional certain way, like fine art. But the main thing we do is traditional graphic design, web design, videos, and here is our audio guy, so he do all the sounds and everything. So we basically do like a complex service to normal commercial sphere of people without like the gallery kind of point. But yeah, that's how we work. So when it comes to the like the audiovisual art itself, it's just we do our thing.
It was like that we got the opportunity to work with this building. It wasn't like that we chose this building like first round. So we were thinking how to use the shape of the facade and the building itself, and in the same time we are starting to working with the real physics.
It was quite easy. Like now we are in the campus at CTO, Czech Technical University, and it's quite awesome that everything is so big and stuff like this. But where we meet the students here, and so I think it could cheer up the space more than it is actually now. Like the space could be more cheered up.
So basically how it worked, like I will describe the process of the project because that probably shows how we work the best. And so we started the project like thinking about it around May. We have a lot of discussions about the concept and how it may turn out. The main idea, or like one of the things which we also looked at, was how to go against the stream, like how to do it in anything a little more original or like in different way than it used to, because we are used to on like video mappings in general, usually black and white, working with architecture. It's starting to be a little bit same, more or less effect, crumbling buildings, all that is everywhere.
If you push one particle, the energy will spread to other directions. So we wanted to work with this as motive for our piece. So the light is behaving like that. Like you can see the waves, different kind of waves, which is really tightly connected with the sound. So the main idea was to visualize this process of physics behavior.
We try to like put a little story, or not a story, like a meaning, like deeper meaning, a narrative. Yeah, like so it reacts to the people are not like just wow, but they are actually thinking about it a little bit. Why is that there and something like that. And in that direction, like we started to do some sketches. The guys who were like drawing, we started like light sketch, and then Dave, he's our 3D guy, so he did the model itself as 3D, and then we just with the basic 3D model we started to play with it and create some content for the projection, which mostly all of us can do in the 3D program. And then we edited it together as one piece. We mixed it with custom music sounds, and then it comes the projection. And it's a combination now, like this project specifically was a combination of the graffiti with anamorphic effect.
We get a topic next 100 years, and I think the future can be super funny and happy and bright, but also it can be super dark. And we decided to do this maybe because we are super fascinated with old sci-fi films and films like Blade Runner and Space Odyssey.
I have to say that here at the campus, the wooden tubus was actually done by an architecture student. It was a student project because it was connecting the tram station with the school, and they have to cross this green. And not to get dirty, he built there this project, this French cubus. And then we got the idea at the same time, so we will do here the interactive gateway, like lightway.
We try to make an atmosphere where you came into the square in the future and you don't really feel good there. because it can be something what people start thinking what's going on around them. You know, I don't want to be too much politician, but like how to say that, I don't want to put in too much like these topics into my work, but somehow we should make sure what's going on around us. And we put the camera in there, which is basically filming the one part of square, and there are like few more programs we can choose. One is controlled by us, that lights are moving all around and doing like the shadows and moving like all around the buildings. And another one is tracking the people. And also there is about 4 microphones hidden at the square, which is recording all the sound and putting the sound into the speakers. So this work is based on something what can be like the dark future, maybe. I don't want to say it's gonna be like this, but it was combination of our fascination and maybe of the topic of next 100 years.
I don't know. Yeah, 10 years time in this area is like really long. It's light years, I think. You know, so it's like I could never imagine myself like when we started like 11 years ago that we will be doing this, you know.
Well, but we were actually thinking about our next installation with Matthias for next year. We were like, now what will we do with the 350 meters of our individual LEDs? And we got some idea yet, so I think we will be prepared.
I think we should open our own gallery here in Prague and support like the scene from this side. Because there is no gallery interest in this, there is no one who is like supporting these artists, there is no collection. And if there is sometimes some exhibition based on audiovisual, it's 2 or 3 per year. And there is nothing which keeps working on this.
Now we have planned out some commercial stuff, so they're also taking a lot of our time. But yeah, we would like to definitely go outside of the country to like international scene. At the beginning of the year, we were in Kiev, Ukraine, and that was pretty big project for us, and it started a lot of conversation with other guys from like outside of the country. I was in Portugal to meet one guy there, and he is starting maybe a festival for like a light show, something like Signal but smaller, I guess. And he already thinking about us being there, so it would be pretty cool to get out more like from Czech and get into the international scenes.
But I think, or I expect, or I hope that we will grow still, you know, even though we are doing it for a very long time. New kids on the block are coming, so hopefully they will like reboost something new, and we will try to keep up.